Hello, welcome to today's edition of Pegasus Test. On today's edition, we're doing Stage 5 of Red Oktober 2018, Izhevsk Arsenal. Stage 5 was a really interesting stage. It was done in an indoor enclosed area, and the purpose was to replicate what it would be like to be in a factory during World War II repelling Nazi hordes. And it was pretty interesting to do it. It was a pretty neat concept. Definitely the use of a giant prop that really added to the stage. So you started out in the seating position sitting at a hydraulic press. On the hydraulic press you had a steel case 7.62 by 39 round, and you had to pump until that press compressed that round smaller than a 9mm casing. After that, what you did was you yanked on a handle that activated a swinging target. You retrieved a magazine from the same barrel that the activator was on, then retrieved your rifle from a slant rack that was located behind you. You had to load up, and the fun thing here is that magazine only had 10 rounds in it. And you had two other magazines staged throughout the shoot house, each with 10 rounds only. So you were limited to 10 rounds per magazine. And out the windows of either side you had an array of 5 targets in a bank of 3 and a bank of 2. And you had this on both the left and the right side of the house. So you had to engage each of those targets, and then you had to reload, engage again, and then you went to the rear door of the house. And out there you only had 3 targets, 2 stationary but 1 swinger. And when you got there you needed to perform a reload to top off your magazine. So it was a challenging thing. You had to plan out what your shooting strategy was. And the neat thing was that on neither side you could see some of the targets out the window, but you couldn't just stand there and blast away. You had to move or step or lean, and you were basically confined to a hallway running down the middle of the building. It's a very interesting thing, and it was very fun to shoot. Also, I'm kind of bragging a little, it was one of my better stages. Not that I set the world on fire, but one of my better ones. We'll take a look here at the next video where we show our walkthrough on Friday, the day before the match.
Dude, I'll be real, I'm putting it to the ground, but an extra 5 seconds cranking on that thing is worth more than 30 seconds in this slant box.
Go.
Tim, when are you activating this?
Alright, that's what it looked like on the walkthrough. This next segment of video is when I did my actual run.
And bye!
Where's your car? I'm actually close to the garage down.
So if you want to pull your Corvette, I guess so, yeah. Yeah, I'll be around. Want to do that? Where's the condo after this? I don't know. Yeah. Good shoot when you do that. Alright, shooter, if you're done. Unload, still clear. Bolt forward.
And last but not least, we got some GoPro footage mounted from my head cam, so you can see the point of view of this stage.
You won't sound to me. Alright, shooter, are you ready?
Ready!
Stand by! If you're done, unload, still clear. Bolt forward, hammer down, safety.
Now, one of the neat things about this stage is you had to work this hydraulic press. And the hydraulic press took you about 13 to 15 seconds to compress a case. However, if you failed to compress it, you got a 30-second penalty. So obviously, you couldn't just blow off the case. You actually had to do it. The penalty was too high. Also, the ROs did not tell you if you compressed the case enough. Yeah, that was something you had to be on the lookout for yourself. The other thing is, it was just a standard hydraulic press. and it was one of the collapsible kinds. And check out these couple clips of videos. Some people had some problem with the handle.
I don't know why we should do it.
In many respects, the hardest part of this stage happened long before you picked up the rifle. As I said earlier in the video, this was a really fun stage. One of the things that made it fun was you had to do a manual task, plus you had mandated magazine changes. You know, you couldn't do this stage without loading your rifle 3 times. And, you know, none of the other stages in Red Oktober 2018, other than the Kursk stage, stage 4, our previous video, required a magazine change at all. If you were doing the shots and getting your hits in a timely manner, you could do 8 stages without having to change a magazine during that stage. So it was a nice change that, you know, the AK magazine with its rock and lock magazine loading is not like the AR. It's not quick. And also, it's a skill that needs to be practiced. If you watched yesterday's video, you saw I didn't do so good on the reload. If you watch today's videos, I was nailing those reloads. So, you know, it's a good skill, and, you know, I wish more of the stages of Red Oktober had incorporated more magazine changes. Maybe next year, I hope so. Anyways, please stay tuned. We're halfway through, and we've got 5 more stages to go. We hope you're finding the Red Oktober series interesting. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and tune in tomorrow for Stage 6, East Berlin.